let's wait till 2 because I see the learners are joining. Maybe some of them will join so that they're not behind. We just have 1 minute left, healthy, and then we're going to start. Just waiting for 2 o'clock.
You can go live.
Okay.
YouTube is live. You can commence with your class.
Okay. All right. Good afternoon, grade 4s. I hope yesterday you had a wonderful time. I know I did. So this is Mema Lulega, going to take you through from maths. I say yesterday, just to recap on what we did yesterday, if you still remember, we did place value, we looked at expanded notation, and then we had participants and people were answering questions. It was nice. And then if you still remember, I said that we are going to do rounding off today, which is the next topic on whole numbers. So rounding off is still under whole numbers, and we're going to look at 3 place values of rounding off. So we're going to round off to 10, we're going to round off to 100, and we're going to round off to 1000. Rounding off is not a new concept for you grade 4s because last time we did it, but last time it was a new concept for some of you, and I find out that some learners are really struggling with it. So I came up with a strategy that I really hope that you guys will understand it. So there's times where I will tell you guys to answer, and then I'll tell you to raise your hand. I think those that were here yesterday, even if you were not here, there is an icon of a hand. So it's like this, and then it's blue. I think you raise it, and then they're going to unmute you. Just check if they unmute you, you have to ask the question, and then they're going to mute you again. So if you go down on your mics, you'll see the red marks. They are cancelled. Don't try it now, the raising of the hand. Vicky, I see, okay, I see you saw it, which is good. So if you go to your mic, you'll see the mic, your mic has a cross, meaning that you are muted. When they unmute you, your mic is not going to have that cross. So on the chart, there is a chart. I would like you guys to refrain from conversing about things that are not related to what I'm teaching. There will be a time where I'll say, just type your answers on the chat. That is when I'm going to go and look on what you guys have typed. So do not be personal on the charts, because I've seen there's some learners that ask them amongst each other, where do you go to school, hi, whatever. Okay, so we've greeted, so there's no reason to say hi on the charts because I've greeted you. So we're going to start. So those are my simple rules. So I hope you guys are going to enjoy. So as I said, we are doing rounding off. So by the end of the lesson, I want you to be able to round off to 10, to round off to 100, and to round off to 1000. So at the end of the lesson, you should be able to do this, and you also have to practice it at home, of course. So what does rounding off mean? So rounding off means, in simpler terms, it means making a number simpler by keeping its value close to what it was. So the result is less accurate, but it is easier to use. So when you round off the number, you'll be told whether we're rounding off to 10, or we're rounding off to 100, or we're rounding off to 1000. So we have to keep the number closer to what it was, but then we round off to the values. So those are the values that you're going to look at: the tens, the hundreds, and the thousands. So you see, we are going back. So we are dipping back onto the place value that we spoke about yesterday. So for example, if we round off 76 to the nearest 10, our answer is going to be 80. And then if we round off 251 to the nearest 100, our answer is going to be 300. I'll just ask for a request, if you can just close your videos, because we are seeing things that are not related to what we're doing now. Okay, so if we round off 4,230 to the nearest 1,000, then the answer is 4,000. So we can round off from 10, 100, and 1,000. Because rounding off is a routine procedure, so it means that there are steps that needs to be followed. There are rules that we have to follow when we round off. So we do not just say 76 and we decide that the answer is 90. No, there are rules that we have to follow in order for us to get the correct answer. Yeah, I saw there were hand raised. Let me take the question before I move on. I think Vicky was one of them, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, check if your mic has been unmuted and then you ask before I continue. Okay, all right. I see, okay, I see hand raised. If one of them can be unmuted.
Hi, ma'am. How are you?
Hi, Marilyn.
Ma'am, I'm sorry. I just wanted to find out, is this for grade 4 or grade 10?
This is grade 4.
Okay, because the link that we got is for grade 10, but it's taking us to this lesson.
I've made you first so you can do your screen share. All right, no problem. And then we can start.
Okay. Herdi, I think that will be sorted out. Okay. Okay, so now going to round off to the nearest 10, I have a number there that I gave you, 76 rounded off to the nearest 10. So I have what I call a rounding coaster. So you can see there, I have a rounding coaster. And then on the rounding coaster there, I wrote the number and I drew, I'm not good in drawing, but I drew there the mountain. You can call it a molehill or a roller coaster. You can give it any name. So on that rounding coaster, if you can check here, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, and then here I have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So if the numbers are 1, 2, 3, 4, we round down. And then if it's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, we round up. So you can draw your own rounding coaster. It really takes less than a minute to do it. So we round down and then we round up. So as I said, when we're rounding off to nearest 10, place value is very important. So we're rounding off to the nearest 10. So we have to find the tens because we're rounding off to the nearest 10. So we have to find the tens. So you see the first step here, it will say we have to find the number. So we find the number, which is the tens. Remember when we did place value yesterday? So our tens are 7. And then the next step is we look right. Okay, so the right meaning left or right. So that's the right. So we look right next door. We find the number is 7. We look right or look to the right next door. The number is 6. So we find the number is 7. We look right next door and then we see 6. And then 5 or more, we add 1 more. And if it's 4 or less, we let it rest. So this number that is next door, it is more than 5. So the rule, if it's more than 5, we add 1 more. So you see 5 or more, add 1 more. So where are we going to add 1 more? We add 1 more here. You see, I even underlined the number and I said plus 1. So it's 7 plus 1, and then we get 8. And then the last rule then says from the arrow on, change to zeros. So the arrow is here. You see where our arrow ends? The arrow is here, then we change to 0. So we have to change the 6. It was a 6, and then it changes to 0, and then our answer is 80. So I'll go back again. When we're rounding off to the nearest 10, or when we're rounding off, we have to find the number because we're rounding off to the nearest 10. 10 is in place value. We have to find the number, which means we have to find the tens because we're rounding off to the nearest 10. So the number is 7. And then we look right next door. So right next door is 6. 5 or more, we add 1 more. So yes, it is 5. So we have to add 1 more on 7. So now we have a 8. And then from the arrow, everything turns 0. So we see where the 0 comes from. And then if we're rounding off to nearest 10, always at the end, when we're rounding off, you must have a 0. So it's either we have 1 0 or we have 2 zeros.
Anele. Nancy?
Okay. Yes.
Sorry to interrupt. I am going to end this meeting, this class.
Okay.
You are doing grade 12.
Also, the meeting ID that you gave me. All right, you can end it.
Nancy, just wait a sec for me, please.
Okay. All right. Yeah, it makes sense why I say adults. Should I exit?
Nancy,
Yes.
I am going to end the meeting now, and I will let you know where we should log on.
Okay. All right.
Sorry, stand by.
Okay.
End meeting.